that first one that I did, it was like I said, it was 50 units. I didn't know what I didn't know. I had a kind of like he was a mentor. He still is. I mean, he's a friend and a mentor now. But he was really like the only person I knew doing it that I could pick up the phone and call. And that first deal, we had enough money to close it, and then we had like 50 grand in the bank, thinking that this was going to be enough to kind of get us rolling, and it was cash flowing enough. And I, at that point in time, I didn't really understand, how people could stuff the vacancy, and they can have just, they can hand you a lease, but there's nobody actually living in that unit, and there's all kinds of things that you run into, or we call it heads on beds, but they know they're going to sell, so they beef up they get the occupancy to 95%, but really it's full of people that aren't paying. And back then I didn't even know that that was something that would happen. And so that first deal, the first, we bought, I think we closed in like September, the middle of September. And so when October came, and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get this big check come in. And, I already knew kind of like how we were going to spend it and what we we're going to use it for. And when it finally came in, it was like 12,000 less than what I thought it was going to be. And what had happened is that some of the people weren't paying rent. Some of the people had left in the middle of the night, and they realized that there was a different management company here, and the kind of the gig was up. So they just split. And all of a sudden we went from having like 4 vacant units to, I think it was like 18.
Oh,
And
ouch.
yeah. And so then so I got on the phone with my friend, and I'm like, what do I do? And he was like, how much do you have in the bank? I'm like, I told him. He's like, that's not nearly enough. And so I was, instantly he was like, you need to go out and find private capital like now. And so I just started, calling anybody and everybody I knew, and saying, hey, like kind of presenting the opportunity. And, fortunately I was able to raise, $200,000-300,000 pretty quickly. And again, that's kind of a miracle in itself, right? That you could do it on your first deal. I mean, but had that had I had somebody there to kind of guide and direct me through like the finding the deal, underwriting the deal, doing correct due diligence, finding the right lender, and then closing it, like I could have avoided that, um, that possible mine, if you will, that could have blown up the deal. But in the end, it worked out. But like I said, if I could go back and tell, if I go back and change something, that would probably be it.
Oh, that's a great lesson. I think, a lot of people think it's easier than it is. And to have properly budgeted and all that stuff. I mean, that's incredibly unfortunate that it worked out that way, but it's cool that you kind of just said, all right, well, we're in this pickle. How are we going to get out?